With the OnePlus Open being released on October 26th, it brought into question if the Z Fold 5 is still the best foldable. Let's get into it. All right, we gotta start off with some of the cold, hard facts. These are features and specs that would be awesome to see in the Z Fold 6. So the size of the cover screen is 10% larger on the Open than the Folds. The aspect ratio is a little bit better, but I would say it's easier to text on the Open than the Fold 5. Now, don't get me wrong, I do love this cover screen. When I really want to get something done on my phone, I open it up. When I gotta reply to text or I have to look something up, you betcha I'm gonna open that phone because it feels a little too squished on the cover screen. Another thing that the Open has over the Fold is that it has 3 speakers. It is doing pretty good in the speaker game. Z Fold 5 does just have 2 speakers. It doesn't sound as good as the Open, but of course you gotta look at that speaker position too. It's not all about how many speakers you have on that phone. If they're not placed correctly, it's not hardwired in the right way, then it's not gonna sound top notch, but I think it'd be awesome to see Samsung add an additional speaker in the future. One of the things that I was really surprised to see is the anti-reflective coating on the OnePlus Open. The Fold 5 does get pretty reflective on the big screen in harsh lighting, makes it harder to see the content on the phone. It also reveals the hinge a little bit. It doesn't necessarily bother me. I never actually think about it. But seeing the OnePlus Open with such a nice screen made me wonder if Samsung should do something a little bit better. All right, let's move on to some of the small flexes that the Open has over the Samsung. Now they have a battery that's 4,800 milliamps compared to the Z Fold 5's 4,400 milliamps, and it is also lighter, 239 grams compared to 253 grams. Let's move on to what the Z Fold 5 is doing right and why I think it's still the best foldable phone. First off, I like that there's more of a close on the Z Fold 5. That tighter close actually has an effect on the IP rating. The IP rating is IPX8 for the Z Fold versus its IPX4 for the OnePlus Open. The IPX4 rating means that it can only get splashed with water, as opposed to the Z Folds, it can get fully submerged up to 1 meter. To me, that's a huge difference. That's a reason not to buy a phone, to be completely honest. You really need to have reliability in a phone. Accidents happen, things happen, and I would be really disappointed if just some water could ruin my phone, especially at such a high price point. It's $16.99 compared to the Z Fold at $19.99. It's not actually $16.99, it's more like $14.99 because OnePlus will take basically any phone and you can get $200 back. Even though the specs of the camera are better on the Open, Samsung's imaging software is so robust that it still blows the Open out of the water, in my opinion. There's something to the tried and true quality of the Samsung's imaging and how much they've put into like specifically the camera digital software. I think it's truly where Samsung thrives. Honestly, at the end of the day, I also just like how the Z Fold 5 looks compared to the OnePlus Open. I'm not a big fan of that huge camera at the back. I really like the sleek look of the Z Folds. Another thing that I like is that the inner camera on the big screen is hidden in the Z Folds and it's not hidden in the Open. It has better specs technically. I'm not sure how it compares visually. It's nice to like forget that there's even a camera there, and you don't see that in a lot of phones. With all that, that's the reason why I still really like the Samsung Z Fold 5, and I think it's still one of the best foldables. I do love how slim and lightweight the OnePlus is. Don't get me wrong. It is a great phone, and it's really pushing the competition. The competition between the brands is really heating up, especially since they have that issue of the hinge solved. It's all about, at this point, really refining those strong qualities that makes a phone really great. And at the end of the day, the best product will win. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you have a good day. Take care. Bye.